Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 2nd of March, crikey. Okay, so as we start the new month, let's just have a look at the data out that's been out this morning. Australian data out first thing at 12:30 there, but really the figure that people were looking was the 145 data, manufacturing PMI from China, which came in at its lowest level for goodness knows how long now. That followed through. Then we've got this morning then at 9:30 we've got the final manufacturing data for the UK, which it's lost its weighting somewhat as we get a flash figure last week. And also we've got then one that hasn't is the US manufacturing PMI. It comes out at 3 p.m. so which is a full-blown one. It's the first look at these numbers that we see, so that's where we are. Okay, let's have a look at these markets then. The euro dollar, well, pushed up, bounced back up on Friday from the lows there that were made in the afternoon, pushing up at the moment, heading towards its daily 200. Could have more upside on this currency yet. I'm just looking in terms of potential weakness and possibly a bit of MACD weakness. No, that's all okay, just checking. But there is certainly a bit of cable divergence across the highs here on the 60-minute. Now, whether that was shown on the MACD as well, there is allegedly divergence across these highs here, the original highs. Couple of highs here running through, so the divergence can sitting there, but just looking at more recent highs, yep, let's cross that one, possibly not across, or maybe across this bit here, but not so clear. So questionable. It has shot up quite quickly. Just need to adjust my pivots here because they're reading wrong. Let's just get those done. There we go. So daily pivot, quite a distance below us at this stage, and it may. We'll just watch this morning, see if we get a break of this current trend there. Maybe a short-term line drawn between that sort of 110.30-ish area upwards there. That may just see us, if it breaks that area, well, the daily pivot's a target, and maybe the new monthly pivot as well, and the weekly pivot. All three are below price at the moment, which could see it draw back down. Okay, cable. Sorry, on the euro, on the upside, you'd need a retracement for me to be looking at that anyway, so that's where we sit there. Cable fell through its the bottom of its channel. The lower part of a channel never really has a lot of standing, although people will buy towards lower channels, but it's fallen through. Beyond that, well, there is the 200 is the next point of support. That's pretty flat, although slightly rising, but that may be the next target on the downside there. There has been rumours that trade talks will fall through quite quickly, as expected. Well, we'll see. There are rumours at the end of the day, but could be true, and well, it depends on how hard ball they play. But looking at this then, it does look soft on the pound at the moment on this 4-hourly picture as well, running to its weekly pivot. And if I can get the 60-minute chart up, let's just close that off. There we are, just short of the, so it's done the daily, it's through its daily, it's been into its weekly there. It looks soft at the moment. Now, anything that's if it was to pick up, well, that 60-minute 50 is being tested quite a number of times. That may, I say a number of times, actually just once, beg your pardon, but may come into play back with the weekly pivot again. But if it breaks through that point, then I would be looking for that monthly pivot above there. As we sit here on the dailies at the moment, no. Well, if it carries on this way, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the bodies of Friday's lows at least, maybe even all the way down to its S1 at 27.20. As I say, it does look soft at the moment. Okay, that's cable. Let's flick on through now. Yen, dollar yen. if only I could say it. Bit of a reversal this morning for, well, just reverse from here. Friday saw a real sort of solid move back down. Is there support around this area? Possibly from way back, but looking at it here, it's got the weekly pivot above, which may see a continuation of this move. A move into that itself may provide us some resistance, subject to what's going on out there. Ironically, the yen may be, or should be, one of the weaker currencies here fundamentally, but we're seeing this sort of flash move to safety, and that's why it's done so well. But whether it continues that way, we'll see. Just looking here on the shorter time frame, we've done this sort of move back to its daily pivot area. Again, a breakdown here beyond its 60-minute 8 there could see it selling back to the lows. To the upside, if we find some support here, we've got the weekly pivot sitting above there and the monthly pivot, so both pivots may be drawing to the upside. Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, again, it's sold off further on Friday, pulled back, but well, it's heading for the weekly pivot at this stage. Sorry, new monthly pivot rather. It's already through its weekly pivot. Higher low confirmed amongst this. It is back to that 4-hourly 21, which it struggled with for a hell of a long time there. Maybe this time it's through, but just watch out for resistance into the 4-hour 50, etc. It's as I say, higher lows coming through. Not quite made a second higher low here yet, but momentum pushing over, crossover on the signal here would suggest maybe that monthly pivot could be in range. Okay, that's the Aussie, and finally the Canadian dollar. Looking more picture-y on the Canadian dollar. It's seen a bit of a gains coming through here over the weekend. I say weekend, but this morning. Lower high in, it is at the moment looking like it could come back in that original range sort of area. Let's come down to the 60-minute bear flag as we stand at the moment. Let's just have a quick look at oil very briefly, just to give an idea. Okay, oil's just pitched up a little bit here. That may be helping the likes of the Canadian dollar, but oil being very, very low here, and probably not a surprise to see some sort of bounce. It's probably lower than where it should be, but there's lack of production, lack of use, so that's where we are with the oil. Right, as I said today, then just watch out. 9:30, we've got the UK final manufacturing data. Don't expect a biggish move from there unless it's a big variation from where the last number came in at, but more expecting of a move around 3 o'clock, the US, with the manufacturing data coming in there. Have a great one. Bye for now.